Hey guys, Sensei Randy here. Welcome back to another episode of 40 Plus Fitness. We got a cool episode for you today. We're going to hit all three modalities. We're going to hit our exercise, we're going to hit our nutrition, and we're going to hit our recovery. And in this week's episode, for our exercise segment, we're going to be doing shoulder routine. One of my favorite parts of my body to work. I love doing shoulders. And also an important area for you to work because a lot of people tend to get injuries in their shoulders a lot. So great part of your body to focus on. We're going to get you through some exercises today. In this segment, you're going to see some of our favorite exercises that we do that are a little outside the box. I believe we're doing all dumbbells, so if you have dumbbells or something like that that you can use, you'll be able to follow right along. Or if you go to the gym, you can grab dumbbells at the gym and go through these exercises. One of the things we did do is we stayed away from all of the typical movements that you do, military presses behind the head. Everybody knows about those. We kind of skipped over those and we gave you some different alternatives that you guys can use so you can try something a little different and maybe even supplement your routine. Typically a lot of these exercises, what I'll start with a military press or press behind the head, and then for my first exercise, and then I'll go to some of these other exercises, incorporating all three areas on the actual delts themselves, plus the rest of the shoulders. So that's going to be in your exercise feature today. For our nutrition segment, we made one of our favorite snacks. These are actually one of my go-to breakfasts. We made egg cups for you. We're going to show you how to meal prep for the entire week. All together, it takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes of prep time, and then throwing them in the oven and going and doing yourself. We usually do it like on a Sunday night. We'll take a little bit, make them all up, throw them in the oven. So we're going to walk you through that. And last but not least, we're going to take you through a nice stretching routine. Martial artist, I'm a huge proponent of stretching. I don't do it nearly enough. But we're going to walk you through a stretching routine that's going to get through the whole bunch of parts of your body, help you get more flexible, more limber, or help your muscles recover, get rid of that soreness and pain from your workouts. All right? Awesome. Enjoy the rest of today's show. Hey everybody, Sensei Randy here, and we're back with 40 Plus Fitness, and we'd like to share our exercise portion of the show with you today. We're going to work one of my favorite muscles to exercise. We're going to work our shoulders today. We're going to give you a little bit of a breakdown on a shoulder routine. This is one of the routines we've been doing for a long time, but we've actually added in pieces here and there depending on where we are and how we're feeling. So we're going to break the shoulders down for you. I think one of the reasons I like shoulder workouts so much, shoulders are a great muscle, especially if you're going to the beach and you're wearing a tank top. Shoulders definitely are one of those muscles that pop out. People look at it and they're like, wow, that person must be pretty fit. So I love working shoulders. It's also an area that a lot of people tend to have a problem with as they get older in life. Shoulders, because of the shape of the joint and the way the arm moves, tends to be one of those muscles that you can hurt. And so having a nice strong muscle around the shoulder really helps support the joint itself and keeps you out of pain as you're getting older. So we're going to go through a few different exercises for you guys. You can put all these exercises together in different ways. You can mix and match them however you like. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of different exercises. Typically when I do these routines, I'll do 3 to 4 exercises for each workout. I'll do 3 sets and mix and match the sizes, the weights, the number of reps that I do in each one. So we'll get started. Quick, easy warm-up that I started doing is we're actually going to use an exercise band. And again, we love to mix up the tools that we use for these. The exercise bands are great. They're portable. They're easy to use. You can pack them with you if you're going somewhere, if you're taking off for the weekend. If you're away on business, you can throw one of these in your luggage, in your suitcase. Easy enough to use, but great way to get a quick workout. So what we're going to do is, first basic shoulder workout, just standing on the band. I'm going to come up from here. I'm just going to bring my shoulders up. My hands are coming up right about the height of my shoulders. I'm going to bring them down right in front of me. All right, so as I bring them up, my elbows stay bent, I'm going to bring my elbows out a little bit, try to bring my hands up to my shoulders. I don't want to try to come way up over my shoulders, and if you try it, you'll feel it, especially if there's any strain on it. As I work it up, I just want to work to the top of the joint, right up there, nice and solid, and bring it back down. Now, the cool part about the bands, and the reason I like the bands for the shoulders a lot, is there's a lot of variability that you can use with them. You can change up the direction and the motion. If you've ever got bands, usually it comes with an anchor on the side. You hook it over a door. These are great exercises to do for warm-ups if you're doing them over a door. All we're going to do is we hook the top over the door. The motion here will be right from here. I'm holding the bands out and I'm just going to pull down. So my arms open up almost like I'm flapping my wings here, and I let it out. I'm going to work the back side of the shoulder. Now the shoulder is interesting. It's made up of a group of muscles. So when you say you're working on your shoulders, you're actually working on about a half a dozen different muscles. Your deltoids, which have 3 different muscles, the front, middle, and back. You have the muscles that connect from the shoulder down into the back, your rotator cuff area. You have your traps, your traps. So all of those areas, different areas of shoulders that you can work. All of them support that joint. So when we start those pulls back, great for working the rear delts, right? So we'll switch it up. We're going to use a little different tool this time. We're going to go down to our dumbbells. I just grabbed a small pair of dumbbells here to show you some basic exercises we're going to do. So we were talking about the 3 different sides of the delts. So the front portion of the delts, all I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to my front and I'm going to alternate. I can switch back and forth, working it up, nice, slow, and strong. I can do them both at once. I want to change it up. I can do as one comes up, one goes down, and work it nice and quick. All different variations, but the same motion. And again, my elbow is bent a little bit. I'm bringing my hand up as high as my shoulder, and I'm lowering it down. So as I come up, I lower it down. That's going to work the front part of the delt. The side part of the delts, we're going to work with our hands going out to the side. Similar to the motion we did with the band, you can do the same thing with the dumbbells. Just bring them right out to the side and right down. So as my hands come out, up about the height of my shoulders, I can lower them down. So we're going to come nice and slow and steady to the side. That'll hit our side delts. The rears, I'm going to bend over. So as I bend down, my head comes up, my knees are going to bend, hands are down. Same thing, elbows bent a little bit, bring them up as high as the shoulders, and working on down. And I'm just bringing them up, and I'll do 3 different sets of these. Depending on the day, sometimes I'll do these as one group, and I'll go from one to the other. For example, I'll start 10 going to the front. As soon as I finish, we'll superset them. I'll start going 10 out to the side from here. And as soon as I finish that, I'll bend right over, and I'll do my bent overs. And I can do 3 sets of those. So you can mix it up and change it. I love to mix up my exercises, change up what I'm doing. Helps keep the body guessing, keeps you from hitting those plateaus that everybody talks about. Plateaus are the biggest killer of your drive, and you're going to get to that point where you're not seeing gains, so you kind of slow down, and before you know it, you're at the gym less and less, you're working out less and less, and you slide back to where you were. We want to try to beat those plateaus by mixing it up. So those are a couple basics for your shoulders. For my traps here, bend to my knees, I'm just going to bring my shoulders up, nice big circle, working the top of my shoulders. That's the muscle that goes up from your shoulders up onto your neck. Rolling the shoulders. I can come forward as well, or sometimes you go really heavy and you can just go straight up and down. So I'm just shrugging my shoulders up and down. All of this is working the muscles that connect between your neck, your shoulders, your back. And it gives you a good opportunity to work out and warm up all those muscles. So one other big exercise that we've done in the past, and one that I started doing not so long ago, was our pullovers. And when I was young, I always thought that the pullovers would work for your chest. We always were told, oh, it'll open up your ribs. But as we got older, we found this actually does a great job of working the muscle that connects between your shoulder and your back. that spot in the middle, that's a place where a lot of people tend to get shoulder pain. It shows up in that area. And it's because this muscle doesn't get developed as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go, you can do this on a bench. I'm using an exercise ball just so we have a easy way to show it to you. I'm gonna hold the dumbbell in my hand, cross my hands over. I'm gonna lower my hips down, and I'm gonna bring it back over my shoulders. I'm gonna bring it back up over my head. As I do this, I should feel my whole chest, my ribs all opening up. I wanna pull it over my head. This pulling motion is what's actually gonna work those muscles that connect your lats up into your shoulders. We're just gonna pull it over. And that's how we do these pullovers. So, as you see, we have a whole bunch of different options for the way to work the shoulders. I definitely like to mix them up. Sometimes I'll do our supersets like we talked about. Sometimes we'll stack them. I like to change them. Sometimes I'll do a whole bunch of them. One thing I always do though, I always end with what I call turbos. Turbos are my absolute favorite shoulder exercise. Turbos are going to work the entire shoulder all at once. That's why I like to do them last. I'll do them when all of the muscles are tired, and it actually helps finish my shoulders off nice and strong. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here. My palms are facing in. Knees are bent, head is up tall. I'm going to bring them over my head as I bring them up over my head, similar to a press. I'm going to turn them. They come all the way up. And I'm going to bring them all the way down. All the way up. And all the way down. So it's a great way to burn out all of the heads of the shoulders. As I bring them up, as I turn them, I'm going from my front to my side to my rear delts, all the way up and all the way down. So quick, easy way to finish nice and strong and burn those shoulders out. Now, you may notice I skipped a whole bunch of basics. I'm sure everybody knows a whole bunch of the basics. Standing presses, military presses, dumbbell presses, just straight from here, straight up, straight down. You can do it with the bar in front of the chin, behind the head. One of the things you need to be careful of with shoulders is you want to make sure as you're doing these exercises, you're not going too heavy for different parts of the shoulder. For example, if you have a real heavy bar, you're using a lot of your front and your medial shoulders, and your back shoulders get weak, you'll know it when you start to try to go behind your head. You'll feel it. And that's the time when you're going to run into injuries. You're overtraining one part, it's getting strong, the muscles that work with it, sometimes they don't develop as fast. If that happens, all you need to do is back off your weight, increase your reps, work it a little more toward that muscle, let that muscle catch up, and then you can continue from there. Anyway, I hope this gave you a good basic shoulder exercise routine that you can use. Like we said, you can use a whole bunch of different tools to do it. The important thing is get off the couch and do it. Hey everybody, Sensei Randy here. Welcome back to 40 Plus Fitness. And we're into our nutrition segment of our show. And one of the biggest things you hear people saying is if you want to eat healthy, you got to meal prep. And in our lives, we're so busy. You look at these people that are doing all this meal prep, and they have their Sunday that they spent, and they have, 9 different trays out, and it's perfectly made meals in these little containers. And you look at that and you go, yeah, no way. There's no way I have time to get that done. And then even if you get it done, am I going to have time to actually eat it when I'm supposed to? So we're going to give you one of our quick tricks for something, and it's actually pretty quick and easy to do. It takes a couple minutes to prep. Throw it in the oven. You can walk away. It cooks for about 25 to 30 minutes. When it's done, you pop it out, pop it in a couple sandwich bags, and you're good to go. So we're going to do what we call our egg cups. And the way we do our egg cups is we're going to make them in muffin tins. So we have just a standard nonstick muffin tin that we're going to use, and use a little cooking spray. We get some, I think the kind we have here is Pam cooking spray, and you just give it a quick little spray into each container. We're going to take our little brush, make sure we get it as spread around so we're not all sticky when we try to take them out. And we'll just hit each cup nice and quick. Just spread it around, make sure it's all covered. And when we're done, I'm just going to go quick right around the top edge with all that overspray. In case anything comes over, it's not going to stick to the top. Excellent. Now, when we first started doing these, we would actually take and we would crack egg after egg after egg. And what we found was if we switch and we just go pretty early, we buy a thing of egg whites. You can get them at any grocery store, supermarket, Hannaford, Market Basket. They all sell the packages. The cool thing about doing the egg whites is without the yolks, there's no cholesterol. So you get your egg whites, they're cholesterol free. You get no carbohydrates, you get no fats, you get about 5 grams of protein for each serving. So we're going to use this, and what we're going to do is we're going to prep the cups a little bit. So we're just going to go right down the sheet here. We're going to fill these about halfway just to get started. So we're just going to pop in these egg whites as we go. Perfect, so a little bit in each one. Then we're going to add a few things to it just to give it a little flavor, add a little more nutrition to it. We like to add the turkey sausage. We get the fully cooked turkey sausage. Again, just any grocery store has them. These are good, give you a little extra protein. And we'll just go to each cup, drop a few in. We're going to go right down. And the good thing about this is you can use whatever you like. You can put in clumps of bacon, you can put in the sausage, you can add cheese to it if you like. I like to keep it kind of simple. I like the turkey sausage, it's low in fat, 3 grams of carbs, only a couple grams of sugar, 2 grams of sugar per serving. And I think we figured out by the time you get the serving, my typical portion is like 3 egg cups. You're getting right around 1 serving, so it's not like you're killing yourself. And then if you saw our thing on our green drinks, you know how much I love my greens. Not a fan of eating greens on their own, but something like this, nice and easy. So we're just going to take some chopped spinach. Drizzle in a little chopped spinach into each one. We'll fill each one up a little bit. Spread out a little. Some of these are a little loose, so we'll get some there. And then for a little flavor, a little more vegetables, we'll get some peppers and onions in here. We're just going to hit each cup. A little bit. A little bit too much in that one, oh well. And we like to finish it off with some chopped green peppers. So when it comes to like the peppers and onions, the vegetables, we'll get like the finely chopped in the grocery store. They have the bags of them. In the summertime, you can get fresh vegetables and do them with fresh vegetables if you like. It just takes more time. So we're going to add some peppers to each one. All right, so now we have our peppers, onions, spinach, some turkey sausage with our egg whites. Now we're going to we're just going to top them off now. We'll fill them up almost to the top of each of the pans here. Shake it up a little bit. Now we'll just go right around the pan here. So we just top it off. Just put a little bit underneath the edge. You can see some of them have a little extra vegetables in them. Some of them have a little extra sausage in it. So once we get them all filled, I'm going to take my little brush out again. I'm going to take all of the extra vegetables that are sitting on top. We'll clean it up a little bit. Awesome. You can add a little sea salt, a little crushed black pepper if you like. Pop them into the oven. So we're going to take and put them in the oven here. We preheat the oven to about 350 degrees. So we're going to bring it right over here. And we'll pop them in our oven. And we'll cook those at about 350 degrees. They'll cook for about between 25 and 30 minutes. You want to check on them, see how they're coming out. And so we're going to cut away for a little bit. We'll come right back when they're done and we'll show you what they look like. Hey guys, Sensei Randy here. Welcome back to 40 Plus Fitness. And as you know, we like to break fitness down into a couple different categories. We like to talk about exercise. We like to talk about nutrition. The other thing we like to talk about is recovery. And recovery has a couple different parts. The thing we're going to work on today is we're going to work on our flexibility. We're going to do a little stretching routine with you guys. Cool part about this stretching routine, takes a few minutes. I like to do it either right before I work out and right after I work out. I like to do some stretching. Best way to do stretching, I like to do a little bit of a warm-up first. I'll do the treadmill or the elliptical for a couple minutes, just get my arms and legs pumping a little bit. Try to get some blood flowing into the muscles and get them warm. It's going to be easier to get a better stretch if your muscles aren't cold. So we're going to come in, we're going to do a little bit of cardio, a little bit of stuff to get your heart pumping a little bit, get some blood flow. Then we're going to go into a stretching routine. So we do different parts of this routine based on what we're doing, but every once in a while it's great to get a full body stretch going. So we're going to take you through a good stretching routine that we do. We're going to start all the way up at the top with our head. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my head from side to side in a big circle. I'm going to roll it around. And as I stretch, I want to just nice and relaxed. Don't really push, pull. I don't want to bounce or jerk any of my muscles. I want to let them just go. Switch direction. We'll go the opposite direction for a little bit. And we're going to stretch it out. Nice roll. Should feel nice and comfortable. From there, let's go into the shoulders. I'm going to just roll my shoulders forward. Nice and easy. Nothing should really hurt when we're doing stretching. I shouldn't be pushing or pulling. I want to let my muscles try to relax so I can get them nice and long. I'm going to go a few minutes. We're going to turn. That shoulder's going backwards. Get those arms moving. Get that heart flowing. From here, cross them in front, working the back of the shoulder, stretching out that back of the shoulder, getting everything warmed up. Now, I'm going to focus on those shoulders a little bit more. I'm going to take my fingers, I'm going to lace my fingers together, I'm going to come out forward. From here, I'm going to bring my hands in, I'm going to pump them straight out, in and out. We're going to go for a good 20 seconds, just pumping those hands. Try to extend through those shoulders. Stretch out the muscles coming all the way around the back of the shoulders, your rear delts. And we'll work that through for about 10 more seconds. I'm going to pump them out. When we get to the end of that, from here I'm going to extend all the way out. From here I'm going to roll my shoulders up. You're going to feel your shoulders coming all the way up. From here we're just going to bring it down now. I'm going to bring it behind my head. I'm just going to pump up and down behind my head. This one, you'll definitely feel the difference. You're going to feel it more in your up at your upper shoulders. You're going to feel your lats. You'll feel it more over by your shoulder blades. And I'm just pumping up and down. I want to try to keep my palms straight toward the ceiling so I get a nice pull on that shoulder. And I'm going to go through it. My 20 seconds. Once I get it going here, I'm going to bring it all the way back down and loosen it up. Next thing we're going to work, I'm going to go from my upper shoulders. We're going to work our way down our back. So I come down my back, all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my legs locked. We're going to start stretching those legs out. I'm going to cross my elbows. I'm just going to lean forward. I'm going to let my body fall down. I'm going to try to get my elbows to touch the floor. So my elbows are going to come right down. My back is going to arch. I'm just going to let my body hang nice and low. I'm going to work on trying to get my shoulders down to the floor, really pushing them out. Excellent. We're going to uncurl our spine. So I'm going to bring my head up. I'm going to keep looking up, try to keep my hips down. As I come up, I'm going to let my spine come up. I'm going to reach all the way up. One more time. We're going to come all the way back down, cross those arms, and bring those shoulders down. Try to get my elbows down to the floor. Awesome. We're going to hold each stretch for about a minute, working our way through each stretch. We start to get deeper into the stretch. Key to stretching is I want to breathe. I want to make sure I'm taking some deep breaths. As I take that big breath in, as I breathe out, I'm going to let my body settle further into the stretch and just relax and hold it. So I'll get to a point where I feel tension on the muscle. I'll take a deep breath in. As I breathe out, I'm going to relax a little more and let that muscle settle back down lower. As I come down, I'm going to extend my hands, try to touch the floor. Excellent. I'm going to bring my shoulders up a little bit. I'm going to arch my back, really open up my arms. Feel that stretch all the way across your chest. I'm going to bring it all the way out. Arching the back, feeling those hips loosen. We're going to come all the way back down. Put your hands between your feet. Work that stretch even a little deeper. Now notice my feet are just a little bit wider than my shoulders at this point. I haven't really opened my legs up wide. It's a nice easy stretch. Feeling it all through my back. Also feeling starting to warm up the back of my legs. And now I'm going to bring my head up again. Looking up, arching that back all the way through my stretch. Cool. Now, from here, we're going to start working the legs a little bit. So as I work my legs, I'm going to start off just gentle. I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to lower my body down. I'm going to slide a little bit from side to side. I'm going to extend my knee out over my toes. I'm just going to get that nice little stretch going in my legs. And nothing should really hurt as we're stretching. It should be nice and relaxed, just feeling those muscles warm up. Settling into that stretch. As I stretch, I'm going to try to push my knees out a little bit. I'm going to try to open my hips up. Same time, I'm extending down into my stretch, keeping my hips nice and low, working all the way through that stretch. Awesome. As we get into it, we're going to come up a little bit. I'm going to lean over to my left side, take my right leg. I'm going to extend my right leg nice and straight. Again, I'm going to settle into that stretch. Notice as I settle into the stretch, I'm trying to keep my head up, my chest up. I want to be breathing. I want to keep my solar plex pointed up at the ceiling. Nice big breath. Settle into that stretch. Extend that leg nice and long. Hold that stretch for a little bit. Really feel it working, feel it pulling on that leg. Bring it up. I'm going to switch directions. I'm going to go the other way. Bending my right knee, extending my left leg, all the way through. Again, staying nice and tall. And use my hands on my hip, on my knee, give my body a little support. we do yoga, we're going to try to keep away from that. We're going to let our body weight help us. Just doing a relaxed stretch today, so you need to support your body a little bit to settle into it. Absolutely go for it. Here, we'll hold it for that 30 to 40 seconds. Excellent, we'll come up. Once I'm up, let's widen our stance a little bit. So now we're going even wider. Feet are going out, probably twice the width of my shoulders. Again, one more time, we're gonna reach all the way up. As I reach up, I'm gonna extend. I'm gonna feel the muscles in my back, my lower back extending. Feel that nice stretch, breathe in. Then we're gonna go all the way down. Again, try to get my hands down to the floor. I can reach down and touch the floor. Settle into that stretch. Awesome, I'm working it. Nice. We'll walk our hands over to our left side. Again, legs are straight. Working that stretch of that leg, trying to get my hamstring. Nice long stretch of those legs. Reaching down. Again, holding it for 30 to 40 seconds. And we'll bring it back. Coming right back into the middle. You might notice as you're doing these, first time you're down, you're up here, as you start to settle into that stretch, it's going to get lower. Remember, regulate your breathing. You want to be taking some nice big breaths. Relax and breathe. Good. Awesome. All the way over to your right side. Working that stretch nice and low. And I want to try to keep my knees straight. All of those muscles engaged, but I want them relaxed. I want to try to let them go. Reaching for those toes. And one more time back to the middle. Awesome. Notice again, each time we're going down a little bit lower. Beautiful. All right. We're going to take it to the floor. We're going to do that. We're going to walk our feet in nice and easy. One of the things with stretching that we want to make sure we do is as you elongate your muscles, you want to be careful that you don't kind of jump back into your normal posture, your normal stances. A lot of people will be stretching their legs and they'll have their legs all the way out to the side. They'll be in this nice long stretch and then they'll just kind of pull their legs in fast. And what it does is you actually get your muscle fibers extending. And as those muscle fibers extend, which is what you're trying to do when you stretch, it's great, but as you turn around and you all of a sudden let that muscle bunch back up, the muscle can have a tendency to kind of ripple in on itself, which doesn't allow it to fully break down and fully get the benefits of the stretch. So you want to extend it nice and slow. You also want to let it contract nice and slow so that all the muscles go back to where they belong. Each time you do this, your body gets more comfortable. You have a limit that your brain will set to protect your body, for example. You can only bring your leg up so high. And the reason it does that is it's trying to protect your joints. So, for example, if I'm coming up to the side, my body knows if I go much further than this, I'm going to risk damaging my hip. So my brain will automatically slow down my muscles and tighten them up to keep you from extending. So the way your body protects itself. So what you need to do is you need to kind of teach your body that, you know what, no, I can go this far and it doesn't hurt anything. It's not going to damage anything. And as you do it more and more, the brain starts to realize, oh, I can do that, and it'll allow you to go further and further into that range of motion. So we're going to take it down to the floor. So nice and easy, we're going to go all the way down. From here, we're going to start off, just open your legs up, nice and comfortable. Again, we're going to reach up tall, work it down to the middle. I'm trying to reach into that stretch. So what I'm doing is I'm up, my toes are pointing up at the ceiling, I'm reaching down, I'm going to take a deep breath. As I let my breath out, again, I'm going to settle into that stretch, let it go out a little more, working in a little deeper. Awesome. Holding that stretch. Again, breathe. As I relax a little further into my stretch. I'm going to get a good 40 seconds to a minute coming this way. From here, we'll come up. I'm going to go down to our left side first, reaching down for those toes. Trying to keep my legs nice and straight. Get my feet pointing straight up. We're gonna work all the way through. Reaching out with my left hand, grab my toes. Even better stretch, we'll get the back involved a little bit, shoulders. I can reach with my right. Actually get my full extension out there. You can feel this coming through your legs. Awesome, we'll get a nice stretch in here. We'll come up. Back down the middle. Let's work that stretch one more time to the middle. As we work through that stretch. Awesome. We'll come up. Again, I arch my back, reach up my shoulders, big stretch, fill those lungs up, breathe in. As I come down, I breathe out, reaching for those toes all the way through that stretch. So one of the things we've added to some of our stretching routines, and it might be something you'd like to try, we actually got it from, I talked a lot about Tom Brady and TB12 being such a New England sports fan. But one of the things he does when he trains is if he's doing muscle work, similar to this, he'll actually work on engaging the muscles and loosening the muscles. So he'll train his body as his muscles tighten, he wants it to relax and lengthen. So when we do a lot of these stretching exercises, we'll also kind of work the muscles similar to what you do with a massage. So if you're like massaging your muscles, you're going to feel them as you get into that stretch. Those muscles are going to feel tight. What I want to do is I want to just kind of work my hand down through that stretch. I'm coming away from my body. I'm trying to lengthen those muscles as they go. A little way to kind of intensify the amount of stretch you get with those stretching routines. Coming right down under your hamstring, you can come in and just kind of work that underneath. I want to work my way through my stretch all the way down. From here, I'm going to take my right leg, I'm going to tuck it. We're going to do a hurdler stretch today. So I'm going to tuck my right foot back, my left foot straight out. I'm going to feel that coming all the way across my hip, right down into my front. I'm going to reach into that stretch. Again, working the bottom of that leg nice and long. Trying to get a nice big stretch out. Reaching for those toes. Working through that stretch. Awesome. We'll come up. I'm going to pull them in. I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to extend my right leg. I'm going to tuck my left leg back. Now you might find you have one side that's more flexible than the other. I know, for example, my left side is a lot more flexible than my right. So as I get into my right stretch, I really want to focus on trying to keep that same form. I don't quite go as far, but I still keep that same form. So I try to make sure my toes are up. I can feel this pulling a lot more on my right side than I do on my left typically. I'm going to work that stretch, trying to get that even. We work into that stretch. Again, big breaths. Just work that stretch nice and slow. So I'm not really going to hurt anything today. I'm just going for a nice, easy stretch. Working all the way through. Trying to reach for those toes. For about 10 more seconds. Work that stretch through. Again, taking deep breaths, relax, settle into that stretch. Awesome. We're going to take both our feet now, straight out in front of us. Legs nice and straight. We call it a Bruce Lee stretch at the school. My legs are going to be nice and straight. I'm going to keep my knees straight, feet pointing right up at the ceiling. I try to keep my feet nice and straight, nice and tight together. If you have tightness in one of your feet, for example, I had an injury on my right ankle a long, long time ago, and my right leg tends to be a little tighter because of it. So sometimes my right ankle doesn't turn out the same way. As I'm stretching, I want to focus on keeping everything balanced. I want to try to keep it lined up properly so that I'm getting the muscles strengthened and lengthened back to where they belong. So I'm going to come up from my Bruce Lee stretch. I'm going to reach down, trying to come all the way down as low as I can. One of my favorite parts of teaching at the studio is watching the little kids, especially the little ninjas, the 2.5-year-olds to the 5-year-olds, where they haven't had all these years of everything tightening up on them, and you watch them and they just fold themselves in half and grab their heels. Very motivating for someone working on their flexibility. We're going to reach down. Now, if I can get to my knees, and I have a good stretch going from my knees, my form is good, that's great. If I can go down a little further, get my shins, awesome. Even a little further, going for the ankles. Ideally, work up so you're grabbing your toes. If you grab your toes, you can come all the way around your feet, grab the bottom of your feet down by your heels. Great stretch, gets that whole back of that leg going. I'm gonna do two quick stretches left. First one, I'm gonna pull my feet in, feet it together. We call this our butterflies. Feet it together, my knees are out. We add a little motion to this, bouncing those knees up and down. I wanna try to pull my feet in close to my hips. I'm gonna try to lean my body forward. At the same time, I'm trying to get my knees out to the side. So I wanna stretch those knees all the way out. Try to work through my hips. Hold that for just a couple seconds. Awesome. Little bonus. I said I had an ankle injury a while ago, and my ankles, my calves tend to be kind of tight. Little bonus stretch for you. Crossing your foot over. I'm gonna grab my toes. I'm gonna make nice circles with my foot. Just work that foot all the way through its range of motion. Try to get a nice circle going. As I come up, I'm trying to pull up. As I go down, I'm trying to extend my toes out, get a full flex on those toes. We'll do a few circles. Once I get that, I'll settle into that flexion. Try to get those toes all the way extended out, nice and flat. A good roundhouse kick or an instep kick. I'm gonna take and pull them up. I get my toes, trying to touch my shins basically with my toes. A little bounce, push it up a little bit. From here, grabbing the foot in the middle, a little bit of twist. A little bit of twist going to the outside. Work that stretch through. Excellent. I'm going to do the other side. One more time, some circles. Going the other direction. This is also good for the joints. It warms the joints up. It gets all the fluid flowing in the joints. All the support for the joints that you can get. All through a nice easy stretch. I'm going to extend that foot. Awesome. We're going to pull it up. Get my toes up. Settling in. Get a quick twist. Each direction, in and out. Making sure we get a nice motion. From there, we've gone up, we've gone down. One bonus stretch. Everybody's favorite stretch at the studio. We got our frog stretch. Frog stretch, we're going to be down on our knees. Feet are coming straight back. I'm going to get down on my elbows, opening up my hips. I'm trying to get my hips down to the floor. So I have a nice straight line coming between my knee, my hips, my other knee, all the way down. I'm going to settle into this stretch a little bit. I want to try to rock into it. So I'll go a little bit deeper, come out a little bit further, and I'll move my knees out a little bit more, get a little further into that stretch. Working it all the way through. Again, we'll hold this for about a minute. And from here, I'm going to push up gently, arch my back, try to keep my hips down. And I'm going to gently bring my knees in, bring my feet together. And all the way up we go. So that's our stretching routine for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get a lot out of it. I like to do those often as I can. Big help with recovery is getting those muscles lengthened, getting them nice and long, keeping them subtle. That's how you'll keep from damaging a lot of your joints. So if you can do it a couple times a week, awesome. If you can do it every day, even better. I like to do a version of that or a shorter version of that before I work out, and then again after I work out as a cool down. Let the muscles get stretched out, feeling warm and loose, do your workout, come back just to cool down, hit them one last time before you head out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our stretching routine for today. See you next time. What's up? All right, so we put our egg cups in the oven for that 27 minutes. We let it cook. Now we're going to grab our pot holder here and we're going to head over. We're going to pull those egg cups right out of the oven. Ooh, they came out awesome. Perfectly done. Excellent. Now, I told you I was going to give you an easy trick for this one. I'm going to run my fork around, my knife around a little bit, loosen it up. Oh, they're all nice and loose, perfect. So as you can see, they're going to come out. Here's my egg cup. It's got vegetables, fruits, got some protein, got some flavor in it. Now, the easiest way to do these and get them ready, so I'm just going to take a plastic Ziploc bag. I'm going to open them up. I'm going to pop them out. So I'll take my 3 that I'm going to have. I'm going to pop them into my bag. I'm going to get the air out of it. We're going to seal it up. And we're done. I typically would let these sit for a little bit and let them cool. Just take them out on your counter. Again, we usually do it when we're doing other stuff. Saturday evening when we're getting everything ready for the week. We'll throw them in the oven. Once they're in the oven, you're done. I think it took about 8 minutes just now to do what we did. Typically, I'll do 2 sets of these. That'll get me through the week for myself and for Diane. So we'll have enough to get us all the way through the week. So I'll make up my bags. We'll end up with 5 of these bags for me. We'll have 5 of these for her. And in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, I just grab 1 pack of these out of the fridge. And what I do is, I know she likes to eat them cold, so she'll just take them right out of the bag, put them on a paper plate. I like to warm them up. So what I do is I take a coffee cup. I have a big mug, and I'll just take the 3 of these, toss them into the mug at work, throw them in the microwave for 45 to 60 seconds, and I have a nice hot egg sandwiches, basically mini omelets. Now we showed it with just the vegetables. Absolutely, if you like to add cheese to it, you can add different kinds of cheese to it. We've mixed them up. We've had days that we've had tacos, say. We've made like turkey meat. We'll ground up turkey ground beef and we'll throw in the seasoning and we'll make like sausages or quesadillas. We'll have salsa, guacamole. You can add cheese. Anything you want to add. The trick is make sure the pan has the coating on it so it doesn't stick. You're going to put in some of the egg whites first, or if you like to do whole eggs, go ahead. I think we were cracking about 15 eggs to do the pans, and you just scramble them up like you would any scrambled eggs. Like I said, I like the egg whites, quick, easy, gets rid of the cholesterol from not having the yolk from the egg and some of the fat. So put in a little bit of whatever you're going to use for your eggs, and then add in what you like. You can add in cheese, you can add in different vegetables. We've done it, like I said, with the turkey chopped meat with the taco seasoning. You can add broccoli, whatever vegetables you like. If you like omelets, anything you put in an omelet, you can throw in here. Sometimes if you have like a big group of people over for breakfast, you have leftovers, you can take a little bit of steak, add a little bit of salt and pepper, do some steak, throw a little cheese inside it, or throw it right on top as it's baking, just melt it down a little bit. So all in all, a quick, easy way. You can mix it up, you can change it however you like, all kinds of different options for you. Like I said, what I like best about this option, it's really low in fat, high in protein, really easy, and it's definitely low in sugar. I believe in the whole recipe, when we looked into it, there's less than 2 grams of sugar in the entire thing, which is a big part of what we look for in our diet. All right? Anyway, I hope that helps you out. I hope it gives you an idea of what you can do to help make your meal prep a little bit easier. Like I said, basically it'd take you 10 minutes. You have enough meals for the week for 2 people, and you're good to go with a nice healthy snack for the road. All right? That's our nutrition section. Catch you later.